He's creating his own controversy within the church. Bishop Gene Robinson is tackling the issue of gay marriage in his own life within the Episcopal faith. Bishop Robinson joining us this morning. And one of the things I've read about you, you've been called everything from the most controversial Christian in the world to a revolutionary. What do you think of all these titles? And one of the things I think it's interesting when I talk or read about you is you're like, this isn't the only thing I'm known for, being an openly gay man and a bishop.
You know, I'm just a bishop in New Hampshire, but we have this raging controversy going on about how inclusive is God's love. And my message is God's love includes all of God's children, even gay and lesbian children.
Well, what do you think? We are dealing with this issue right now in the state of California recently, the legalization of gay marriage. What are your thoughts?
Well, we won't have equal citizenship here in this country until there are equal rights for all citizens. That's a separate issue from whether churches will bless those unions or not, and we need to provide those equal rights for marriage for all of our citizens.
Do you think the rest of the country is watching California right now?
Absolutely. This is terribly important to the rest of us in the nation because, you know, California is just a bellwether state, and if it happens here, that toothpaste won't go back in the tube.
Interesting. You recently had a civil union with your significant other.
I did.
Have you thought about coming to California to get married?
We'll wait until marriage is legal in New Hampshire. Our legislature, without a threat of a lawsuit, passed civil unions. They became effective January 1st, and we have taken advantage of that. It was a great and wonderful day after being together for 20 years.
You have kids?
Yes, and 2 grandchildren.
And congratulations on
that.
Thank you. What do your kids think, not only about everything that's going on, but the controversy of being a bishop in the Episcopal Church?
You know, this has been tough on them because I've had death threats. I had to wear a bulletproof vest at my consecration, and of course that worries them. But I'm happy to say they're pretty proud of their father.
Well, let's talk about the controversy in the Episcopal
Sure.
Church. Some are saying it's fracturing the church. What are your thoughts on that? And for those, I guess, who are more conservative, as to those, you just called it the left coast,
yes.
They're not as conservative, they're on board with you in your appointment to being a bishop.
You know, the church is no stranger to controversy. The early church fought like cats and dogs over whether you had to become a Jew first in order to follow Jesus, and the church has known controversies all throughout its life. It's just one of the ways that God leads us forward, and any kind of change is going to be upsetting to people. I understand that, but I believe this is of God.
Is this worth it? You talked about wearing a bulletproof vest. You are very open, very public. You have just authored this book, In the Eye of the Storm. Is it worth it for you?
You know, anything that brings you closer to God is worth it. And I have to tell you that the 5 years since my election and consecration as the Bishop of New Hampshire, I have never felt so close to God. God is so palpably nearby that I could never regret something like this.
In the book, you call it, well, the book is called In the Eye of the Storm. You talk about kind of being in the center of a hurricane. Is that how you kind of describe, like, there's all kinds of chaos around you, but right now you're kind of at peace with yourself?
Absolutely. You know, a priest sent to me a photograph taken from outer space of a large hurricane, and right in the middle is this little pinpoint of clear, calm space, and by the grace of God, God has led me to that calm place in the middle of this storm.
And perhaps there's a simple or an obvious answer to this. What do you hope comes of all of this, and the fact that you are kind of the face of this battle right now, specifically with the church?
I think the church is in the process of becoming what it was meant to be. We began to include people of color in a new way, women in a new way, now LGBT people, and as soon as we're finished with this, God will point out someone else we've not been inclusive of.
Final question to you on this is, why are you in Sacramento? How much longer are you staying?
I was invited here by Trinity Cathedral, and I'll be doing a service there this morning at 9 o'clock, meeting with a group of young people afterwards. I'm here to preach the gospel of the all-inclusive love of God.
The new book is called In the Eye of the Storm, out in April, I guess is when it came out.
That's correct.
I can get it anywhere. Gene Robinson, Bishop, we appreciate your time today.
It's great to be with you, Chris.
Thanks so much.